Okay guys, good morning. So welcome to another video, and for this video I will going to test my gimbal using a different resolution. So sa ngayon nandito ako sa may Barangay Cablon dito sa Tupi, South Cotabato. So this is early in the morning, I think nasa 6:15 AM. So for today's video I will going to test my smartphone without the gimbal, and also I will going to test this stabilization using this gimbal from DJI OM4 SE. So before we're going to test the back or the rear camera, we will test first this gimbal using this front camera. So front camera is only limited to 1080p 30 fps, and that is my current setting. So ito yung stabilization niya guys, well stabilized. Of course, this is 1080p 30 fps, so I can enable the electronic image stabilization. Okay guys, so we are going now to try this gimbal from DJI. So this is OM4 SE, and my current setting now is 1080p 30 fps. So 30 fps in my phone, which is Xiaomi Mi 10T, has EIS or the electronic image stabilization, plus you can enable the steady video. So this is now the quality, and as you can see it is well stabilized. So later I will be showing to you the condition of the video once I change the setting to 1080p 60 fps. Okay, looking good. Okay, so at this point my setting now is 1080p 60 fps, and in my phone 60 fps has no EIS, and of course you cannot enable the steady video. So this is now the stabilization of the video for this resolution. So by the way, I am here at Tupi, South Cotabato, dito banda sa may Barangay Cablon. So this is 60 fps, looking nice. Okay, so let's continue walking. So later I will be showing to you the quality of the video kapag wala itong gimbal, para ma-compare natin. Okay guys, so let's try this video in 1080p 30 fps handheld. So walang stabilization dito. So I just turn on the EIS without the steady video. So this is 1080p 30 fps. Now let's try 1080p 60 fps without the gimbal. And this 60 fps has no EIS. So as you can see, medyo magalaw talaga yung video. So that's the main purpose why I buy gimbal, because I want to try or use this 1080p 60 fps in recording video. So now let's try 4K 30 fps. Looking good. So this is without gimbal. As expected, it looks good, well stabilized kasi meron siyang EIS for 4K 30 FPS. So the last resolution is 4K 60 FPS. So again, this has no EIS. So that's why medyo shaky yung video natin. Yan. So my setting now is 1080p 30 FPS and I will try to run and see the stabilization. Okay, so same setting 1080p 30 FPS but I enable the steady video. So let's try to run. So now let's try 1080p 30 FPS with gimbal. So for this setting, I just turn on the EIS without the steady video. Looking good, very nice. So I will going now to try this gimbal using my smartphone, and the setting is 1080p 60 FPS. So this is now my stabilization using this DJI OM4 SE. Okay guys, so let's switch to 4K 30 FPS using this gimbal. And I think there's no problem with 30 FPS kasi we can enable the EIS or the electronic image stabilization. So lastly, we have this setting 4K 60 FPS using this gimbal. So by the way, I'm just using the camera application of my smartphone. I did not use the DJI Mimo app in recording this video because I cannot use the 60 FPS if I will going to use that app. So this is now the quality of the video. Can you notice its stabilization? Okay, so let's go back to 1080p 30 FPS and let's try to run. Morning exercise. And for the last resolution na tatakbo ko is 1080p 60 FPS.